27th of June today, and again it's a little bit breezy down here, so I hope that you can hear me okay. I'm down on the allotment and I have a little helper with me today. Hi. It's Emily, she's here, she's finished her GCSE, so I've dragged her. No, she wanted to come down the allotment and help, which is great, it's lovely, it's so nice to have her here. Now what I'm planning on doing today is to get my leeks in. I've only got a few leeks to get in. But I was wandering around thinking, where on earth am I going to put them, because I've run out of space. But I noticed that some of the garlic and onions that started to reshoot at the beginning of this season, I moved over and did a line across them over here. And they started to grow beautifully, and now their tops have gone brown, so therefore they're ready to come up. I thought I'll remove those and I'll put the leeks in there. Now I've just removed one garlic, and let me show it to you. Oh, it's got red ants on it, that's not good. Okay, it's this size. It's really big. I'm so pleased with it. There's loads of bulbs there. I know it's a bit dirty because it's just come out of the soil, but I just thought I would show you the other ones, and hopefully they'll all be just as big. So let me show you how to harvest your garlic. Hopefully they are all garlic. We might have a few onions in there, I'm not sure, but I've got some other garlic that I planted this year over there, and it's not quite ready yet, so I'll harvest that lot in the same way. But let me just show you how to harvest your garlic. Now you know when your garlic is ready to harvest because the stem, all the leaves go brown and they droop over, and the stem will go brown as well. So if you pull it, then the top might come off, because if it's gone too brown, then you just pull it and then you lose the bulb underneath. So what I would suggest you do is use a trowel and go a couple of inches away from the stem, push down as low as you can, give it a bit of a wiggle, and then pull back, and that way you'll get both the bulb and the stem at the same time. So let's just shake some of this off and see what we've got underneath. That's another really good sized one. So therefore these have actually been growing for 2 years. I've never had garlic quite this size before, so it seems that it has to grow for a couple of years. So that's another one. I'll do all the rest, and then when I've harvested them all, I'll show you what I've got. Right, well, I've got them all up. I've got 7 altogether. I've left one in because I think that one, it looks like an onion and it's not quite done yet. So I've got a couple that are, you know, fairly small, but it seems to be, it seems that it's actually shooting slightly further up the top here as well. And then we've got some sort of middly size ones here, and then we go up to the nice, really quite substantial sized ones as well. So what I'm going to do is when I take these home, I'm going to give them a wash and get the soil off, and then I will put them in the greenhouse on a tray so that they dry really well. Make sure that you dry them properly and thoroughly before you store them, because if you don't and you pack a load in a bag together, or you plat them together and one of them isn't dry, it will go mouldy, and it will make all the ones surrounding it go mouldy as well. It can take about a month for these to be dried properly. You can obviously use them before they are dried, but just don't pack them up in a bunch or in a bag before they are completely dried. I've also got a row of spring onions next to where these were growing, and they're actually, some of those are ready to harvest, so let me show you those. Right, here are some of the spring onions that are ready to come up. They've been growing really well. This one here, I don't know if you can see, is far too small. So just wait for them just to get a little bit bigger. Now, when you harvest these, you can't pull them up because they're actually a long way down. So you need to again use the trowel and push the trowel about an inch away from where your spring onion is growing, and then gently pull it back. And you can, if you pull the trowel back with one hand and you pull the spring onion gently up with the other, you're sort of coaxing it out, and then it will come out quite easily. So give it a shake, remove any soil, and there's one good size spring onion. So I'll harvest a few more, and then it will give any of the others that are still growing in there a little bit more space to expand. And when I've got some, then I'll show you. Right, well, I've harvested 4 spring onions. They're really good sizes. I'm very, very pleased with these, actually. There's still lots more in there, so now they've got a little bit more space so that they can grow up. If you sow your spring onions successionally, which means that sow some 1 month, some the month after that, and so on and so forth, from like sort of end of March through to about August, it means you'll get a nice amount of spring onions all the way throughout the summer, and they won't all be ready at once. I've never tried freezing spring onions, but I can't see that they would freeze that well, actually. They're best to be eaten fresh. So that's those spring onions. So we've nearly cleared a space for the leeks to go in. So we've just got a little bit more weeding to do. So when we've done that, then I'll show you how to put in your leeks. Right, now we're going to put in the leeks. They're my leeks. I did sow an entire tray, but lots and lots of them seem to have died. I don't quite know why. I had loads of them coming up, and then all of a sudden a load of them just decided that that was it. They didn't want to know. It seems to be the worst year I've ever had for leeks, and I don't know why, but the ones I've got seem to be fairly strong. Some of them are a little on the small side, so I think I'm going to have to be fairly selective. Now, when you plant your leeks out, you don't do it like you would do a normal plant. You don't dig a hole, put it in, fill in all the way around, and then water. Okay, so they are odd, and you'll think that can't be right, but it is. So let me show you how you plant out your leeks. Okay, so you need to make sure that you've dug this soil very well. Make sure you've dug down as far as you can, at least 4 inches. And what you need to do then is you need to get a pole. This is an old broom pole, which is about 1 inch in diameter, and you need to push the pole down to make a hole as far down as you possibly can. Okay, like that. Because the further down you get, the more white your leek will have. The part of the leek that is underneath the ground always stays white. So make your hole. Make sure it's not going to cave in on itself, and then pull your pole up. Now I got mine down about that far, which is a good 6 inches. What you need to do then is you need to get one of your leeks. So separate them out into individual leeks. Get one. Now what some people do is they trim the leeks, or the roots of the leek off here. I don't do that. I've tried it both ways, and I know other people that have tried it both ways, and to me it makes no difference whatsoever. So get your one leek, get all its roots, and pop it down into the hole like this. It will practically disappear, okay, but don't worry about that at all. Okay, so I will carry on and do all of my leeks like that, and when I've done all of those, then I'll show you the next stage. You need to plant your leeks about 4 inches apart from each other, so I'll make the next hole about here. Right, so I've got 1 row of leeks in there. I still have a few more to do, but I thought I would show you the next stage before I did all of them. Now what you then need to do, once your leek is in its hole, is you then need to water the entire hole, and you need to fill it up with water. And what this does is it just brings a little bit of the soil over the roots and covers the roots. If you cover up this hole with all the soil, then the leek can't expand and it won't grow. So you have to be very careful when you do this. You might have to hold your leek with one hand and just pour in the water like that. Okay, it'll take a little while to settle down, but that's fine. If the water stays in the hole for ages, then that's not a problem at all. So I'll keep going along, holding my leek and filling up with water. Okay, now everything's in now apart from a few sunflowers. So what I'm doing now is I'm systematically going through each bed and weeding. And if I come across anything that's interesting that I think you might like to see, then I'm going to show it to you. First of all, here we have some Salsify. They're growing really quite well. There's some there, and then we've got a rogue potato up here, and then I've actually got some more going a little bit further up there. Okay, there weren't that many seeds in the packet, but they seem to have come through really quite well. It's the best I've ever actually had them. I did position them about 3 or 4 inches apart from each other, so you can see where the ones haven't come up because there's gaps. It's too late now to sow any more, but I'll just look after the ones that I've got. Now also to the left of that, hopefully you can see here, there's a load of spinach, and the spinach is growing really well. There's a few rogue potatoes again in amongst those. I'm going to leave those rogue potatoes in because they're Sarpomera, because they were growing in this bed last year, and they were, as you may well remember, massive. So I'm going to leave those in, so I'll have a few extra potatoes. Now on the left over here, I've got my Iron Man broccoli. Now I've weeded the section, the far section, the far half, and I just need to do this section. But as I was weeding, I was looking at them, and some of them, the broccoli heads have started to form. So I just thought I would show you. There is the first of the broccoli heads. I hope you can see it. It's very small at the moment. It must be about 1.5 inches across. But that's great news. There are lots of small ones starting to form as well. In fact, if I move the camera across, there's actually one in here. It's very, very tiny. Let me see if I can show you. Right down there, very small one starting to form. So hopefully very soon I'll start harvesting the broccoli, but I doubt if that big head will be ready. Most probably I'll look at it in about a week's time and go from there, but most probably in a couple of weeks' time. But I'll carry on now and I'll weed the other half of the bed. Now here we've got one of my variety of sweet corn. These are the Sweet Nugget, and as you can hopefully see, there's one sweet corn that has just started to develop there. The tassel has appeared here. There's also one over the other side, which is about here, and there's a tassel there, and there are a few more. But if we look at the top of it, they've still got an awful lot more growing to do, but hopefully if it warms up, then they will suddenly grow quite well. The tops of some of them have actually got their seed head. This is why you need to grow it into a block, because what you need to do is you need to sort of shake the tops of them so that it distributes all the seeds around, and it pollinates the rest of them. So when you do have a seed head like this, just gently come and shake it. Okay, this one's not quite ready yet, but I'll give this one a little shake as well. Usually the wind will do this as well, but it's always worth giving them a little helping hand, and hopefully that will encourage them to grow taller, and also lots more sweet corn to produce. Now, if you're growing baby sweet corn, as soon as the tassels arrive, that's when you need to think about are they ready to harvest. Whereas these, because they're the big sweet corn, I need to wait for the tassels to go brown, the tassels on that have come out from the end of the cob to have gone brown, and also the skin on the outside to sort of start to lose its greenness. Okay, and the same would be with popcorn. Just remember, the baby corn you have to harvest as soon as the tassels start to appear. Well, that's it for today. I've been down here for about 4 hours now. Emily went home a couple of hours ago to go and have some lunch, and she'd worked very hard down here for a good couple of hours. So I'm very grateful that she's coming down and helping me. It's just so nice, and at the moment she's enjoying herself. So hopefully that will continue. So between us, we've cut a load of grass, thoroughly weeded quite a few beds, and planted some more sunflowers. So we're getting there, and harvested the garlic a long time ago now. So I'm really pleased with those. So yes, we're getting there. We're now on the systematic going through each bed, weeding and watering, yes, that's it. Because now most things, apart from a few sunflowers, are in, but everything else is in, which is just such a great feeling to know that all your fruits and veggies are in. So I did it, finally did it. So I hope you found what I've shown you this morning useful, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye bye.